It's good to be here. I wanted to talk today about some of the things that I'm sort of working on in my life and share them with you to see if they might work for you. I want to talk about deepening your divinity and therefore creating more of what you want in your life, or success. Success in this life is something most of us try to achieve. We are often extensively trained in a skill in our early lives in what to do in the outside world to give us a living. And many think that's all that success is, just make some money and be done with it. Though happiness can elude us with just that, and there's often other areas that aren't the way that we would like them to be. What is success in life? Deepak Chopra says he defines success in life as the continued expansion of happiness. Isn't that a nice thought? Mm-hmm. The continued expansion of happiness. The progressive realization of worthy goals and the ability to fulfill your desires with effortless ease. Boy, isn't that something we could all try to have? Yet success in the outside world can be just the creation of wealth centered on hard work and at the expense of others. Not a very pretty definition. We need a more spiritual approach to success. Spiritual affluence is the abundant flow of all good things to you. Affluence, the word, is from the word affluere, which means the flow of good to you. Success is a journey. It's not a destination. You don't reach it and then you're there. It's ongoing. But success has many components to it, and wealth is only one of those components. It also includes good health and energy for life, fulfilling relationships, emotional and psychological happiness, a sense of well-being, peace of mind. True spiritual success is experiencing the miraculous, not just once in a while, but all of the time. In order to have spiritual success, we must nurture the divinity inside us. We often spend more time developing our formal education than we do nurturing our divinity. Unfolding the divinity within us should be our focus in life. We will then begin to bring the unmanifested to the manifested in our lives. The source of all creation is through our divinity and accessing our true self within through our spirit and mind. When we access the true self, we access the field of pure potentiality within us, where we can create and have show up what we want in our lives. When you meditate here at Unity, how many feel that peace and quiet joy and that wonderful energy it brings? How many people have experienced that? That's what we're trying to achieve. But oftentimes, we feel so good, we leave here, and within 30 minutes, we lose it, don't we? That feeling goes away. What we're trying to access and stay in that energy field, and today we're going to be looking at just a few things that we can do to keep into that positive energy force on a daily basis, to keep us at peace. The law of pure potentiality. You know, our essential nature is the true self, which gives us the access to this field. When you discover and access the true self within, you can open the field of energy to bring forth your desires. two things that can help us understand the true self versus being in the ego. I want to use these sort of technical terms to sort of make a distinction because it helped me understand. Self-referral versus object referral. Self-referral is when you're coming from your own spirituality. Object referral is when you're being influenced by your outside, the outside world. This is where it consists of seeking approval from others. It's an intense need to control things, a need for power, power over others. These needs are based on fear. The power of the true self is the only real power. Object referral is the ego. Ego is that self-image, your social mask. It wants approval from others. It wants to control, and it lives in total fear. Ego-based power could be in the form of wealth or a position, being president. But this power, if you really think about it, is only temporary. Because if you take away the money or you take away the position, the power is over. Self-referral, or the true self, is immune from criticism, unfearful of any challenge, and it never feels beneath anyone, yet is humble. I like that power. Self-power is permanent. It's the only power that is. It draws people and things to you that support what you want. This is often called being in the state of grace in Catholicism. You'll enjoy a bond with people that comes from true love as opposed to manipulation. But how do we access, it sounds good, but how do we access this field of pure potentiality so that you can have what you want? You know, I used to experience it only once in a while. It was really elusive. And I thought, God, I'd love to get that feeling back, but I want it more often. Well, here's a couple things. One, meditation. I know it takes time, but boy, don't you feel good when it's over? If you can practice 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening, and you get into the silence, this is where you can touch the silence, and you can touch the healing, and you can touch the field of pure potentiality, and you can allow what you want to show up. Now, going into the silence does not mean reading a book or watching TV. It is pure silence. It's when the chatter will finally leave, and it's the space between the thoughts that brings you in that total relaxed state. By doing the meditation in the morning, you can go out into the active life and be centered and grounded in that silence and allow yourself to carry that through your day. One of the things that we have to look at is the inner turbulence of the mind. It's sort of an amazing thing because we're constantly taking away from the true self, the energy of the true self, by our own inner turbulence. That's why we go into the silence, to create the turbulence, to stop or minimize that turbulence. Again, as you experience the silence, you will experience the field of pure potentiality. Another way to keep focused on the true self on a daily basis is non-judgment. Oh boy. Now, I've tried this, and this, for me, wasn't easy. You know, our mind is always analyzing and classifying and evaluating, and have you ever experienced that? Where you're going, I don't like that person, and boy, I think that's all right, but It's constant. It's constant chatter. When you're in judgment, you are squeezing away the energy of the true self, where you really want to be, who you really are. I invite you to try for just 1 hour. Non-judgment. I did. And you can go out and be in the grocery store and in the 12 items or less line, and someone in front of you has 25 items. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Or you can be driving along and someone cuts you off. Non-judgment. There's something I could work on. Whew. I'm sure the cowboys didn't say, "Here come those sweet Indians again," either. You know, in the Course of Miracles, they have a prayer. They say, "Today I shall judge nothing that occurs." Wow. You're focusing your energy, because that's all we are, is energy. But you're taking and putting your energy in the true self, rather than all that stuff. So if you can train, you will find the fruits of that labor. Also, a third component could be communing with nature. Nature can bring us back to our true self as well. When you get and spend your energy in that true self, the world will open up to you the abundance, and it will flow to you. You have to go beyond the turbulence of your mind chatter and get to the infinite, unbounded mind, and you can create whatever you want. When you're grounded in your true self, you will not be fearful, you will not be insecure, and you won't feel less than. I think that's a good deal in itself. I want to talk about another law, and that's the law of karma. We've heard it a lot. Every action has a consequence of that action. What you sow is what you reap. They tell us that in the Bible. I want to ask if you'd become with me conscious choice makers. Be aware of the choices you are making. Many people feel their choices are unconscious, but they are your choices. We have become a bundle of conditional responses and reflexes. If you become conscious of your choices, it's very powerful. What are the consequences of what you say? What are the consequences of what you're going to do? If you slow it down and think, if I say this, will I be happy? Will I make others happy? If I do this, will I be happy? Ask that simple question, and you can begin to train yourself on creating your future in a very happy way. There is only one choice, and we call that choice spontaneous right action. You'll feel the sensation of comfort or discomfort when you ask yourself, will this make me happy? It'll keep you from saying certain things. It'll keep you from doing certain things. Your future is being generated by your choices today. The more conscious of your choices, the more influence you have on that future. The fruits of karma can be happiness and success. Another law is the law of least effort. And I like this one, because I like least effort. Sort of a lazy approach, but I sort of like it. Do you know, oftentimes we are in buildings and we're not out in nature. But if you take a look at nature's intelligence, it operates with least effort. Grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. The earth doesn't try to spin on its axis, it just spins on its axis. And in human nature, to create our desires, with effortless ease is part of that universe intelligence. Do less and accomplish more. I still love that statement. Carl Castaneda says, most of our energy that we spend goes to uphold our importance, holding up that illusion of our own grandeur, rather than the grandeur of the universe. It would be powerful to use that energy to stay in the true self. There are 3 components to the law of least effort. 1, the law of acceptance. This is another thing that was very challenging for me. I want to ask for you to try it. Just give it a try. But no matter what happens with people, situations, events, or circumstances today, I want you to accept it the way it is, not necessarily the way you want it to be. To be at peace with that. Because everything is as it should be. The entire universe is as it should be. If you don't, you're struggling against the whole universe. By accepting things as they are versus what you would like them to be, you're causing friction in the flow to you. Now, once you learn to accept what is, you can be responsible. You don't blame anyone, and you don't blame yourself. But if you assess a situation as a problem, you can then look at a creative response to transform to a better situation. Another thing to give up, which takes away from the positive true self energy, is defenselessness. Do you ever notice we spend 90% of our time convincing people of our point of view? And they spend 90% of their time convincing you of their point of view. If you can let go of that, that energy can go back to the true self. Nothing's more evident than if you watch The Housewives of New Jersey. Oh my God. You look at that and you go, phew, that is a lot of work and a lot of points of view, and they don't always agree. In fact, I haven't seen them agree too much at all. I'm even amazed that I've watched it, but you want to remain flexible. So we're talking about acceptance, accepting things the way they are, the responsibility after that, and then dropping the defense position. This will give you a path of no resistance, no friction to the flow of the good coming to you, because you're staying out of that negative. This allows you to not be rigidly attached to any point of view, because if you're a constant growth seeker and you're caught in a strict point of view, you can't be open to another possibility of growth. When you stay in that positive true self energy, you then can wait for your season, for your desires to manifest. You're just preparing yourself for that. So to summarize, the law of least effort is practicing acceptance, acceptance of this moment as it is. Take responsibility, no blaming anyone or anything, including yourself. Every problem is an opportunity. Relinquish your defenselessness and not be rigidly attached to any particular point of view. We are here really to discover our true self. We are spiritual beings. I know we all have these human bodies, but we really are spiritual. We are here to express our divinity and to let it unfold. I'm so privileged to be a part of this group who uses this knowledge to expand all of our divinity. We are also here to serve others, to service humanity, to see what we can do to help and serve others. If you're coming from how can I help, you're coming from your spirituality. But if you're coming from what's in it for me, you're coming from ego. You can achieve unlimited abundance and permanent power when you continually access your true self. These are powerful, powerful challenges that I've made to you today, but your life can become more joyful and abundant and peaceful and happy. I thank you.